Welcome to the Vault XL. Thank you all so much for waiting. Sorry about that. Had a maintenance repair I had to take care of. Thank you all so much for joining me. This is a two-part live pertaining to P.Diddy, Sean Combs, and Gypsy Rose. This is live number 1. Check back with me a little bit later for live number 2. That live will be pertaining to Miss Bobby, the neighbor of the Proudfoots, who has decided to now, she wants to channel hop. We're also going to talk about the YouTubers crying and moaning about their letters and calling the police, so on and so forth. We're going to chop all that up. And then also in that live, we're going to talk about the Wells case. They have spoken to the news, local news. And Candace decides to walk off from the interview. So we're going to chop that up in the next live. Thank you for joining me. Let's get down to business, everybody. P. Diddy is the first source of information.
It awarded Sean Diddy Combs and cut financial ties with the hip-hop mogul. Howard University has rescinded the honorary degree it awarded Sean Diddy Combs and cut financial ties with the hip-hop mogul. It follows the recent release of a 2016 video that appeared to show him attacking his ex-girlfriend, Cassie Ventura. The university said his behavior in that video is, quote, fundamentally incompatible with the school's core values and beliefs.
Core values and beliefs. Howard University, prestigious African-American university in Washington, D.C., if you're not familiar with the school. A lot of famous and very important people have graduated from this institution. Sean Combs attended this school, and somewhere down the line, he left the school to go into the entertainment business. And as you have seen here lately, lawsuits and the infamous video of him assaulting Cassie Ventura, it is causing repercussions, but that's expected. He has sold his company, revoked, settled a lawsuit with Cassie. I do believe some of his other entities that he was involved in, as far as advertisement, they're no longer wanting to use him, rightfully so. And now his honorary degree has been rescinded, as it should be. He also, at the same university, they have given back his $1 million donation that he gave last year. I'm going to play you that content. And the scholarship that was also branded in his name at Howard has been dismantled. So it's 3-0 at the moment. No scholarship fund, giving back his $1 million donation, and his honorary degree no longer stands. Thank you for joining me. Let's see about the degree that was given to him 7 months ago. Not even a whole year. Now, he no longer has that degree. Lord have mercy. What a hot mess. We're going to, let's see. I'll make sure I got everything up here. Let's see. 1 second, everybody. I think I have to go to my community page. So I've got a lot of stuff stored over there. Hello, everybody in the chat. Grays or Luminous, Wanda Young, Cornbread. Thank you. You've been hanging with the Queen for a few years. Thank you so much, sweetheart. I appreciate it. A lot going on. This was 10 years ago, pertaining to him receiving his honorary degree from Howard University.
Completed 2 years here at Howard. It was the greatest 2 years of my life.
Puff Daddy gets a degree.
Congratulations, Dr. Combs.
The man of many name changes can now add another to his growing list, as Dr. Combs picked up his honorary doctorate from Howard University in Washington.
Howard didn't just change my life, it entered my soul, it entered my heart, it entered my being, my spirit. And even though I only completed 2 years here at Howard, it was the greatest 2 years of my life.
Well, congrats, Dr. Diddy. Enjoy a life.
2 years at Howard University, later goes into the entertainment business. I do believe he left the school to take a role in a music company. I'm sure he thought this would be an opportunity of a lifetime. You hear a lot of young people leaving school early. Usually athletes leave school early if they're offered a football scholarship or, not a football scholarship, but a football contract such as the NFL, NBA. But a lot of people recommend you stay in school and get a degree because you'll possibly need it down the road, such as if the sports contract doesn't work out. You get hurt, get injured, you'll need to work at some point. So now here we are, present day. This content was uploaded 10 years ago. Don't know the actual year he got the degree. But nonetheless, the degree has been rescinded. Imagine that. Your school where you attended, fond memories, gives you an honorary degree, calling him Dr. Combs. And doctor is no longer. But some will say, well, he wasn't a doctor any damn way. But the point is, they gave it to him, and now it's been rescinded. Just like the star on the Walk of Fame in Los Angeles. The council says they can't take it off. So that means somebody must have tooted a horn and said, well, he doesn't deserve the star on the Walk of Fame. But that's the whole point, is it not? No matter who you are, where you're from, people don't know you. They don't really know who you are. There's only a few people that might be able to speak of dealing with you personally. But the one thing we've learned about that is that what you've experienced, somebody else may not have experienced. And he has a lot of dirty things being said about him, allegations. And so far, 3 have been proven. Drug use, bribery, and he's a physical assaulter. Those have been proven. Will he get an indictment by the grand jury for human trafficking and other said crimes? We will see. Here's some other content pertaining to P. Diddy going back to Howard University to donate the $1 million that has now been sent back to him. Well, he'll probably need that money if you all didn't spend it.
There's always a huge turnout for homecoming at Howard University, but this year's event was next level. That's because Sean Diddy Combs was on campus rocking the stage. Diddy says coming to Howard University is like coming home. What emotions, what did you feel when you set foot back on campus?
Oh man, I had jumped out, and there's a Howard University. I guess it's a new building on the corner down the street. I jumped out, I took a picture, and had Howard University, sprawled out there, and it was just like, I just felt like, wow, so many incredible memories,
Diddy is a proud alum of Howard University. He's also a proud supporter of historically Black institutions. Combs said Howard University is the place that laid his foundation. So he says it's an honor to reciprocate with a $1 million donation.
This is such a blessing. It's such a blessing to be able to come back here. We always got to keep on sowing seed, back into this university. This is one of the most important Black universities in the world, in the history of the world. Ain't no better way than to start with a check. Somebody got to put something in the collection plate.
From Howard University alum to music mogul to entrepreneur, Diddy has successfully made his mark in the world. But he says his work isn't done yet. When you hear the word legacy, your legacy in particular, what comes to mind? What do you think about?
I want my legacy to be freedom. You know what I'm saying? I want to see true freedom for everybody.
Hey, Don.
Especially my people. And so the way to get to that is, having things change radically. So I look forward to radical change in the world.
Radical change in the world. Well, one would say that you are a fraud because you can't say you want freedom for your people when you have been abusing your people. The same people you want to be free, The same people you want to have opportunities in the world, you abused. You abused Cassie. You abused other women. You've been accused of atrocious crimes against women, SA, bribery, blackmail, physical assault. You have been in legal trouble before, dealing with violence. Is this a legacy to leave behind? Whether you are single or have children. And you also have children. So what type of legacy is this? What type of legacy is this? It's not. It's a disgrace. But once again, as I said, you don't know people. A lot of rumors have circulated about him and his parties over the years. I wasn't in tune to them. I had always heard about the white parties, all white parties, but I didn't assume anything, nefarious was going on at those parties. Why would I? I don't keep in the know of what the famous people are doing. But nonetheless, when you listen to people coming out speaking over the years, that's their reference. Those parties. You don't want to go, blah, blah, blah. And a lot of the parties were open, wide open. I'm sure people there were photographers, things like that. So in my mind, I was thinking back, listening to all this nonsense that has transpired. I was thinking, well, this must have been after certain people were there. You know what I'm saying? Like certain people were there and they were putting on. But then when those certain people left, such as those who wouldn't be down with the hanky-panky, that's when the get down got on. Because I refuse to believe you would have parties like we had the parties on the Hamptons that everybody's dressed in white and you've got somebody running around naked and having sexual assaults wide open. I don't think it went like that. I think after so many people left the building, the certain people who probably wouldn't be down with that type of behavior, or at least openly, that's when the hanky-panky transpired. What is going to happen? What is going to become of Sean? All these allegations. Will he settle any of the lawsuits? Number one. Will there be more lawsuits? Number two. Does he have remorse for his sins? Probably not. Because as you hear him speaking in this commentary, he was a fraud then. That's the point. You were a fraud when you donated the money. You were a fraud when you got the degree. And then you fast forward years later, you have all this nonsense coming out, people suing you, videos being released of you beating up a woman. And that video is old. That's from 2016. We're in 24. It's about 8 years ago. 8 years ago. And then you give this fake apology, never addressing Cassie, once again, never addressing her directly in the apology. I was effed up. I was back then. You are still there. There is no back then. You're still the same person. I don't think you've changed. Because the fact that young man had cocaine in his bag, getting ready to whisk himself off into the islands with you, tells me everything I need to know. You're down with whatever. At 50-something years of age, 54-year-old man just don't give a damn. But hey, that's your life. That's your legacy. So this is your legacy you're leaving behind. An African-American entrepreneur who has a very freaky, kinky, devious side. That's it. Nothing more, nothing less. Gypsy Rose. Second content. Thank you for joining me. Gypsy, gypsy, gypsy. Woo, what a web we weave. What a web we weave. Lord have mercy. She just stays in the news for nonsense. Gypsy Rose and her family brought forward a lawsuit against April Johns, Fancy Michelli. She's a blogger, allegedly has a production company. Don't know what she's doing with it, if she's produced anything as of late. But she was sued by Gypsy Rose and the family. And that case now has been dismissed. Radar Online is the source of this information, everybody.
Gypsy Rose Blanchard's lawsuit against blogger April Johns stemming from their past media partnership was dropped by a court in Missouri on Wednesday. RadarOnline.com obtained case documents that show the matter was dismissed because the venue is not proper in Livingston County.
Let me find something else because that content is awfully low. I can't even hear it myself. Hold on, everybody. It's bad commentary. It's too low. Hold on, let's see if I can find something. Everybody's got content about it. So I don't want to play anybody else's content. I'll play the news. Wait 1 second, everybody. Can't find anything. Now we've got Ryan Anderson denies threatening or controlling Gypsy Rose. Wow. Extra TV is the source of that information. Let me share it to my community page. Oh, Lord, Lord, Lord. It just goes on and on. See, this is what I keep talking about when I say chaos breeds chaos. You can't have something good from something bad. This is why you're having all this he said, she said, because all this came from a woman abusing her child. Then the child lashes out by hiring someone to kill the mother. She does her 10 years. She comes out. She jumps on social media. And then people start talking. And then she starts saying things that don't seem very positive about the other person who's in prison now. And that started the hoopla that she seems insensitive. And that she's talking too much on social media. She seems like a fame whore. And then the rest, it went downhill from there. Then we have her leaving the husband. So you see, you can't really expect something good to come from all this nonsense. It's just the way it is. We're going to play this also at the end of why he left, of why the relationship broke up. We'll get his side here in a second. Let me try to find content about this lawsuit. I'm having a hard time finding something that's not other people's content, because I don't want to play anything that belongs to anybody else. And check out her interview with ABC. Well, I can't find anything. This is crazy. Guess nobody wants to talk about it. The news, the news don't want to talk about it. Shut up. So I'm sharing everything to my community page that's out as of late, so you all can check it out for yourself, because I'm not going to play all that winded material because I have the other live I need to do, and I don't want to be up here all day during the live streams. Let's see. So there's a new one from Entertainment Tonight, uploaded 4 days ago. Ryan Anderson on Gypsy Rose split theories, Dee Blanchard comparison, blah, blah, blah. People Magazine has something, finding love in her new look. That's 12 days ago. We're going to share that as well. In case you're curious, she has dyed her hair blonde. She's now with this other guy. I also saw last night where he was in prison. I never knew that. So they were pen pals. God, what a damn mess. Now she's with him. I don't see that working, because you don't know people. She doesn't know him. You don't know her. And meeting somebody in prison, that's not knowing a person, because they're not out here to navigate. And I see the lady, Miss Fancy Michelli. She's on somebody's stream 8 days ago, the Good Wives Network. She's on this person's channel, I guess, talking about this debacle. We're going to talk about that in just a second. I'm trying to find some content about the lawsuit. I'm probably going to have to read something, because it's I can't find anything. Hello, everybody in the chat. Thanks for joining. Let me go to my other source, because there are not any articles. That Radar Online is too low to hear. Two-part live, everybody. All right, TMZ is the source. Thank you for joining me. Gypsy Rose Blanchard was trying to take a blogger to court for allegedly trashing her, but a judge just told her to take her grievances elsewhere because the case got thrown out. According to court documents, GRB's lawsuit against April Johns, whom Gypsy said she was in business with several years ago in an attempt to produce media that would be lucrative and benefit her and her family, got dismissed Wednesday in Livingston County, Missouri. Sorry about that. Hold on. Let me get this background noise out of here. Okay. It doesn't look like Gypsy herself was there. The court docket says her attorney showed up on her behalf and Johns appeared without an attorney, apparently repping herself. There was a hearing scheduled for today, and while the exact details of what went down in court are hazy for now, court records show the complaint got dismissed as the judge found it was filed in the wrong venue. It's not clear from the docket where the judge believes Gypsy should have filed the case. In any case, it will probably buy Johns some time after Gypsy alleged she trashed her and her family after their business deal never went anywhere. Gypsy claimed Johns promised the world, but in the end just crapped on her and spread conspiracy theories online. FWIW Johns, who goes by Fancy Michelli online, issued a statement after denying the claims and alleged it was Gypsy who acted in bad faith with her in their deal. Let's hear what this Michelli has to say.
It's Fancy, and you're watching the Good Wives Network, and I just wanted to come on quickly. I did a live a few minutes ago. I will put that live up, but I wanted to come on and let everybody know all charges were dismissed. The judge was not happy with him, Mr. Shanfield. He was not happy that he brought this to his courthouse because he could not, for the life of him, figure out why this would be the venue that they would choose. He made Stanfield argue that point, and without me having to say anything, he dismissed the charges. And so, no temporary restraining order, no court case, no nothing. Bye-bye. But I guarantee you, it's not the last we've heard of this.
Of course it's not.
He basically told him, we're not going to do this here. Just take that somewhere else, dude. So I'm sure they will, and I'm sure I'll have to take care of that. Whatever. That's fine. We're prepared. See you in court.
Well, did you not promise what you were supposed to promise, ma'am? That's what the issue is. Okay? That's what the issue is. You're claiming she didn't act in good faith. Well, what could she do if she's incarcerated? Say, well, not talk to you, not comply, not continue interviews. That's the only way Gypsy could have not complied, because she was incarcerated while you're gathering all this information and getting information from her family. Gypsy did prison time in Missouri, which might be why she filed there. She now lives in Louisiana. We've reached out to the Livingston County Court. So far, no word back. Gypsy tells TMZ, we are finding and filing in a different venue. It's not over. This is what she's told TMZ. So this is the problem. What they're alleging, Gypsy Rose and her family. They came in contact with this woman somehow, because I do remember a woman being mentioned that was once her neighbor or somebody that she trusted and told things to. I don't know if this is the same lady or not, but anyhow, it doesn't really matter. They all got into cahoots to tell this woman private things about Gypsy Rose, medical records, personal information. See, that's where the family messed up, okay? That's where the family messed up. I don't care if it was Lifetime, Oxygen, OWN Network, doesn't matter. You don't leave personal documents with a person. What you can do is let them skim over it while you are in their presence. But you don't let them photograph the documents. You don't let them photocopy the documents. That's where you messed up. You gave a complete stranger her personal information, her medical records, probably her therapy records, whatever you all could come up with, trusting her that she was going to get deals media deals, whatever it is you thought she was going to secure for you and Gypsy. She did not. Your allegation against her. She probably was just a messy boots, like what you see up here on this YouTube, because you see she's already on somebody's channel talking about whatever happened. This is what they do. This is what they do. It's a hustle. It's a hustle. People don't really understand that. Because in the end, I keep telling people that. YouTube, whoever owns YouTube, they get the bulk of everything. So it doesn't really matter what you're talking about. If you're monetized, it doesn't matter. If you're talking about, like I said, sewing booties for cats, talking to your frog on your phone, doesn't matter. The owner gets the bulk. So everybody keeps arguing, you know, who's getting paid, who ain't getting paid, who ain't monetized. Just like somebody commented under my post about monetization. I don't want to hear nothing about that bullshit. I don't want to hear nothing about that. It's not the subject matter. What I was talking about is this stuff that was going on over there in that town of the father wanting people to stop talking about his kid. They don't have nothing to do with monetization. He don't want you talking, period. So it wouldn't matter if you were monetized or not. If you were defaming him, he don't want you saying nothing. You're saying, well, I'm talking about people on my channel, black kids, whoever, blah, 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 and I'm not monetized. That's not what I'm talking about. Stick to the subject. So with this case, it's no different. This woman is out here with podcasts, this and that. I don't know her, never seen her. She's probably got a YouTube channel, probably over here at TikTok. She's probably everywhere selling this woman's stuff. And yes, she's getting paid for it. But I blame the family because you should have never gave her legal documents. You did not know her. Now you're upset because she's not securing deals for you. Maybe she's not in a position to secure deals for you all. She's securing deals for thyself. She's a blogger, for God's sake. That's probably all she's got going. If not, I stand corrected. So you all need to find the proper venue to take her to court. But what I don't understand is pictures of the dead mother or something like that I thought I read. Why are you all giving her that? For what? And if she showed it as content, her ass need to be whooped. You don't need to be showing pictures of a dead person. Come on now. It's bad enough the woman got brutally murdered, but then some won't care that she got murdered because of how she treated her daughter. Didi put herself in that situation, using a child for funds, attention, gifts. She had to know there would be a payback. And she did get a payback. She was killed. She was killed. You can agree with it, disagree. Naturally, it's against the law to take a life. And even in the book of the Bible, if you believe in it, you're not supposed to take a life. But the point is, she used her child. So Gypsy could have easily unalived her mother on her own. She didn't really need any help. She just didn't do it herself. But as for this April Johns, I don't know what you did and did not do. But if you posted pictures of a dead person to any of your content, you are foul. Because that's just wrong. And that would lead people to think you're doing it for yourself. You met these people. You misrepresented yourself. And your intent was to make money for you. Not Gypsy, not the family, not to get the information out to the public, but for thyself. And you see this a lot with lots of people. April Johns today, tomorrow it's another network, just like people were crying about the Lifetime with Wendy Williams. Oh, they should have known. They should have stopped filming. They saw she wasn't well. They saw she wasn't sick, but she still wanted to continue. But so basically you're arguing over an ethical situation of a person who still wanted to continue filming because maybe in Wendy Williams' mind, she thought she was well. So it's a flip of the coin. It's a flip of the coin of how you want to weigh should they have stopped filming her. Because she was obviously ill, physically sick. But that's the point. Perhaps in Wendy's mind, she didn't think she's sick. And then later they said, well, he asked her, you know, are you sure you want to continue? She's told them yes, so they said they continue. But Wendy probably thought this was going to get her, you know, back in the game. That's why I said she obviously wasn't in her right frame of mind, not just physically ill, but she also has a mental decline. And although she was very rude and abrupt and brash in that documentary, well, that was Wendy before being sick. Let's be truthful. You couldn't have thought that was going to change because she has physical ailments or alcoholism. What is going to become of Gypsy Rose? As most of you know, she is no longer in the home with her husband. She's now dating a guy she dated when she was incarcerated. He broke it off with her allegedly because he thought she was talking to other men. And now they have reunited. Gypsy Rose tells us that she talked to him 2 weeks before reuniting or uniting with her husband, Ryan. Some would say that was the downfall right there. Why are you talking to him when you know you're getting ready to marry somebody? Well, move in with somebody because she was already married to him, excuse me. What do you need to talk to him about? For what? Hello, Elizabeth. Hello, Pale Rider, Sundown. What do you need to talk to him about? So that's what's interesting. 2 weeks before getting out of prison or whatever she did, she talks to this Urkel guy. Now, 3 months later, she's already out of the house with Ryan. It's a hot mess. And it's sad for somebody to get out of prison and have their name circulating in the streets. It's like, for what? For what? Why is your name circulating? Because one would say you choose to have your name circulating. You don't have to be out here in the streets with all this nonsense. You've gotten your nose done. You've dyed your hair. On social media, off social media. Can't make up your mind what you want to do. Just a lot of nonsense. As most of you know who are following true crime, information from the Gabby Petito case is airing at the moment pertaining to what evidence was relayed at the death of Brian Laundrie. That is now public information. Let's see what Mr. Ryan is going on with him. Lord have mercy. What a hot mess. What a hot butter mess. Ryan Anderson admits what really led to the breakup. E! News is the source. This is live number 1, everybody. I'll be back on shortly for live number 2. Thank you. And also your movie suggestion. I forgot last night. Oh, Lordy. Staying busy.
All right, processing. It's one of those where I'm, right now I'm still in like reflection mode about everything that's happened. And, watching the first episode is kind of like, well, I should have done this or I should have done that. But now it's overwhelming. It's very overwhelming.
You know my story. Now let's see what I do with my life.
Gypsy Rose, Life After Lockup. I know it airs on Monday. We're looking forward to seeing more behind the scenes with that. Do you have any regrets from what was filmed?
Before Gypsy got out of prison, I was worried about her emotional ability with the filming and press, and did I expect it to get 9 million followers overnight? No, I didn't expect that. That was difficult. And so my main concern was Gypsy before she got released. So I didn't realize the filming would impact us so much as it has. It created a lot of change.
9 million followers overnight.
Overnight.
Life changed like that.
Gypsy's story is so unique because it's never really been done. Like, you think about it, somebody who had that crime gets released and then it's filmed. Like, it's so new and, we're learning as we go. It's not the situation it was from pre-release to post-release.
How has she changed in a way? Is the fame got to her?
I think some things get to her emotionally, like certain comments, things like that. I remember at one point, when things turned negative, it bring her down. me being her husband, I'm just trying to be there for her.
I want to know what really led to you and Gypsy's separation.
Personally, I think outside influences got involved. I'd go to work and then her mind would run rampant. And it's just one of those things where, when I say I'm blindsided, really I'm blindsided about how fast things occur. It's like a snowball that I haven't been able to stop it. There's a lot to process. It's weird watching yourself on TV. I'm not used to that. It's just new.
How do you feel about Gypsy reuniting with her ex, Ken Erger?
How do you think I feel on that?
Right.
How would you feel?
Right.
Yeah, I'm just saying. It's hard to watch. It's hard to watch it unfold in the public eye like that. There were certain things that happened that really, really got me. It really, really affected me. The matching tattoos really, really got me. That was one that really hurt.
Why did that matching tattoo really hurt so bad?
Because it's permanent. It's one of those things that you always look down and see. It's one of those things that you just can't erase. We're still married. It's one of those that we're still married, but we're going through this divorce, and it's just hard to see. Hard to see.
I know in April you actually posted on TikTok thanking a bunch of fans for their support. What messages and comments are people sending you now?
I still get a lot of support. It's mostly 98% positive compared to 2% negative. But it's amazing to see the love and support I get. Just being myself. I'm just a genuine person. I fell in love with Gypsy. That's the only thing about me. I'm just a normal guy.
That's beautiful. Well, I got to be nosy for a minute, Ryan, because I'm sure there's some women that might be interested.
I definitely have a lot. Definitely have a lot of DMs from women. It's mostly women. Yeah, it's new to have that many women on you. It's nice to see. It does boost your ego. But it's one of those where honestly I just wanted the attention of one woman actually, originally. So to get all this other attention, it's different.
Do you still have that longing for the interest of that one woman, Gypsy?
Me and Gypsy, love was never our problem. We still have love for each other. It's not an issue. There's other things at play that kind of affected our marriage. So love has never been an issue. How we feel about each other, it's never changed.
If she ever had a change of heart, would you ever consider reuniting with Gypsy?
It's a hard question. That's a hard question because my pride and things that have happened, you normally would say no, you did this to me and that's it, But you gotta realize that's my wife and she's learning and, yes, we are getting a divorce. Things would have to change. I don't know. It's a hard question, Francesca. That's a very hard question. You gotta realize it's only been 2 months since she's gone. So it's, she might have moved on quickly, from what it seems. So, but I'm still processing, I married her wanting the forever, so it's one of those where that was my 18th. So, I felt like I found my person. I haven't seen her since we had a disagreement and it's we're divorced, so that's hard for me to process is I haven't seen her.
When are you getting back out there? I know everything's fresh, but I'm pushing it. When are you getting back out there and dating?
Oh, are you sure I'm pushing it?
When the right person comes along.
He hasn't even
And
divorced
what are
her.
you looking for when you start?
Gypsy grabbed me with just her personality. And
somebody that ain't been to jail.
So maybe somebody make me laugh like she did.
Somebody made me laugh like she did. Let's be truthful. You don't have to agree with how they met. You don't have to agree with a man or a woman dating somebody incarcerated, in prison, death row. However, people are people. People do make mistakes. People do find love after making mistakes, even after murder. Let's keep it real. But, you didn't know her, sir. Because one, she's a child of abuse, and she went into prison in her early 20s from that abusive household. So what you got was still a child. That's what you got, an abused child. Manipulative or not. She learned that from Diddy, however you want to judge her. She still learned that shit from Diddy. So you dated a child, basically, that was in a grown woman's body. So you didn't really have anything to base anything on. It could be anything but conversation, physical attraction. You hadn't had sex with her until she got out several months ago. You all played house for 3 months and poof, voila, she's gone. And yes, you're hurt. You should be hurt. As you said, your whole life is playing out on TV, hard to look at yourself. She's upset at the comments people are making about her. That's why she shouldn't have been on social media when she first got out of penitentiary. She should have just meshed herself into the world, tried to find a job, take a course, do something productive. Social media is not productive if you are going to thrust yourself out there. Now you're mad at the feedback. That's why you don't go to social media. You can't get mad at the stuff you're posting. You're putting it out there. Nobody knew where you was. Nobody knew your address. Nobody knew nothing. Nobody knew you were going to LA, New York. They only knew it when the news posted it. So that's what she didn't understand. These people wanting to talk to you, do documentaries, TV shows. You were out there. Then you start talking to people. Then you start doing interviews. See, one thing begets another, and she doesn't seem to understand that. And I'm sure all of this did play a role in their relationship falling down. But the thing that she doesn't understand, she's still taking those ways to the other guy. Shit's going to still be the same, Gypsy Rose. You're still going to get upset that people are talking bad about you. That's not going to change. You're still going to keep running to look at the posts. That's on you. You keep talking, feeding social media. They're going to respond. You are the orchestrator of what you don't like because you're talking. You got to put out a selfie to show a nose. You got to put out a selfie to show you dyed your hair. You're doing that. Nobody knows that you colored your hair. Nobody knows you ain't got your nails done. You put that out there. Nobody knew anything about this other guy that you all were talking and corresponding. You put that out. You left your husband, you started talking about him, then it's a part of the, lockup show, whatever. I mean, I'm trying to understand what you're mad about. You should have just came out, did your little interviews with the entities that were promoting the documentaries, and left it at that. And then if there were questions in the documentary that they wanted to ask you pertaining to the crime or that other guy, you should have told them up front, I'm only here to talk about what I am doing now. I'm not here to talk about the crime. I'm not here to talk about him. And if you felt that you got slighted in any way in your first interview and they asked you anyway, you still know how to talk. I decline to speak on that. I do not feel like it's necessary for me to relive what happened with P.Diddy. Because I think that's when a lot of your backlash started, is when they started asking you about the boyfriend. And you basically said, well, I've done my time. I wish him well. That didn't sit well, I think, with a lot of people. Because maybe a lot of people felt like you weren't taking any responsibility. But you did tell the truth. You have done your time. The courts ordered that 10-year sentence. You've done it. It's over with. But everything's about the delivery. How you deliver things when you speak. And many people are going to judge you now very harshly. Because they're going to say, yeah, I know she was abused, but damn, look at what she's doing to this guy. She's only been with him 3 months. And she's already dumping him and going back to a guy who she pen pal with in prison. And she don't know him either. And so, Mr. Urkel, you need to check yourself. Because just as quick as Ryan got in the folds of her and married her in prison, gets out, she's only with him 3 fucking months, and now she's already kissing and smoozing with you, and you all are getting matching tattoos. How the hell does that make any sense? So just imagine by September, she ain't with Urkel. Now you got a tattoo of her, and she got a tattoo of you, and just probably getting a divorce from Ryan. Ask yourself, how does this make any sense? See, she's looking for something, Gypsy Rose. She's looking for what P.Diddy stole from her. Checkmate. She can't get that back. Can't get back anything from back then. P.Diddy was not a good example of a mother, a role model. You can't get it back. You didn't have a relationship with your father and your siblings and other people. You can't get that back. So I think she's trying to overcompensate. She's trying to compensate for what was stolen from P.Diddy. But you can't get it back. So I advise her to get therapy and try to resolve her issues with Dee, who is now dead. Resolve her issues with her father and herself. Because it's a heavy burden to carry around what was done to her by Dee, the manipulation, the connery, the fuckery, and then to do time and know that somebody else is also doing time in prison that rode the ride with her. And now you have duped somebody and you've run to the arms of another guy that doesn't look good. I don't care what anybody says. That's a badass look. To leave a person who has supported you for 2 years in prison, married you in prison, 9 times out of 10, they sent you money, put it on your commissary books. He visited you, calls, all of that, for you to only dupe him after 3 months, drop him like a hot potato. Now, I'm not here to say that Ryan was a perfect being, that he was nice, not nice, but I'm just saying it's just still bad looking. No matter what happened, it's just a bad look. And what makes it worse, no matter who Ryan is and how he treated her when they got together, you ran to the same person who you were dating in prison. So you didn't go out here and find a new guy to correspond with while married. You go hook up with somebody that you've already dallied with in prison, which most of the people are going to say that don't count either. Because he didn't know you and you didn't know him. You're just two people corresponding by letters and phone calls, if possible. It's not the same. I don't even know what his criminal charge is. And maybe that should be questioned as well. What did he go to prison or jail for? What does he do for a living? What is his temperament? What is he gaining from being with Gypsy? Jesus Christ. Sir, what do you want with her? Why do you want her? Do you have children? Have you ever been married? What have you been doing all these years since your last correspondence with Gypsy Rose? So you have to ask all those questions. Are you in it for the attention? Some people thought that with Ryan. He was in it for the attention. But you can say starting out, he was just talking to her in jail. She wasn't free yet. No media, no social media. No paparazzi. I'm sure he's devastated. If indeed he was in love with her, loved her. And as he said, watching my whole life unfold on TV is hard to watch. Now I'm looking at her with another man. I think that would be hard for anybody. Because that's worse. I don't care what nobody says. Just imagine your life playing out on TV. Every day you look up, there's a story about you and your husband, wife, boyfriend, girlfriend. And now they're with somebody else. It's a bad situation. When will the divorce become final? Number one. Will he have to pay her alimony? Because I do not feel Gypsy Rose deserves alimony. And some will say this is all about money. Because what are the odds we have her suing for alimony after leaving a man 3 months of being with him, and now she and the family are suing this lady. That case thrown out in court because they sued in the wrong venue, which is crazy. And I think the lady probably did use Gypsy Rose and her family to get personal information to put on podcasts. And that's the thing people need to understand about talking to TikTokers, YouTubers, news networks. It's a hustle. Whatever's the latest story, hottest story, revised story, it is for the likes and the views. That's what gets an entity to stay on top. Why do you think people shuffle from network to network, such as CBS, ABC? They need those ratings. That's what keeps the show and the TV network afloat. That's what keeps the commercials coming in. It's a business. We get her over here, then CBS, they want to talk to her. Then Entertainment Tonight, they want to talk to her. Then this person want to talk to her. TMZ, everybody want to talk to you. It's because they can't stay afloat without the viewership. That's everybody. Netflix, OWN, BT, Lifetime. I can't make no money without you looking at my programs. That's just common sense. And it doesn't matter if they're genuine or not. In the end, without the viewers, there is nothing. Everything is about the almighty dollar. Are there some genuine people working in the business for the company? Sure. But in the end, the head honcho, that is the CEO of the corporation, he or she sits at the throne. They are putting people in charge to do what they need to do, to bring in, to generate funds, because without funds, the network cannot run. That's just the way it is. And I fought the family. Perhaps you trusted this woman. You thought she was going to be a good fit to help get her story out, secure what? Movie deals, podcasts, so on and so forth. But she didn't do that because she probably was just a regular old broad. She didn't have no clout. She didn't have no ties to, Oxygen, Netflix. She ain't got it like that. She's sitting up here on somebody else's YouTube channel, yapping away about probably absolutely nothing. That shit's to generate her pocket. And you all should have thought about that. That's why you have to do your homework before giving people documents and personal records. I would have never given her a document. She's not leaving with nothing. I don't give a fuck what she said. Well, I need her medical records. I need something to verify this. Hell yeah, she would talk about it like a dog once she got what she wanted. Spin theories and narratives, all for the clicks and the views. You've been hoodwinked, bamboozled. Now you know. So you can do like what the other people are doing up here on YouTube. You just sue her for defamation. Join the club. Where is the next place they're going to take the lawsuit, Gypsy Rose and her family? Where is the next location? Louisiana? Where? She hasn't been that many places. So where are they going to file the next lawsuit? Where does she stay? Is she living with her parents, or has she secured her a place to live? Frankly, with all this drama, I think she needs to have her own place. Because it's time for her to learn how to be on her own. That's what I think. She needs to be able to navigate for thyself. She needs to, one, get a driver's license. Learn how to drive. She needs to learn how to do things by herself, such as apply for a job, go to school, get a trade, apply for an apartment. She needs to learn to do things for herself because she has been enabled by P.Diddy. She's been taken care of in prison by others. She comes out to be taken care of by Brian. She drops him like a hot potato to still be living with her family who is still taking care of her. And then now she's hooked up with another man who will possibly be taking care of her as well. I don't see it working with him either. She's codependent. And that's expected when you come out of penitentiary and you've lived your whole life in penitentiary. You've gone from 20-something to 10 years, 9 years locked up. She's codependent. She needs to learn how to navigate on her own. She needs to learn how to talk and deal with people on her own without a mouthpiece. And basically, you're spending all this money for lawyers. Where's that money coming from? Oh, the documentary money. And I won't doubt there'll probably be a falling out between she and her family, because now you hear they are in the lawsuit as well. So people can say, well, they want a piece of the pie too. They've given this lady information, documents, pictures, photos, medical records. They want their just due. So are the family in it for the right reasons? Are they using her? Entitled to your opinion. Will she end up falling out with her parents, her father and stepmother, sisters, brothers, whomever? Will there be a divide? This is a bad situation because whenever you start dealing with funds and money, you should know there's going to be some smoke in the city. There's always a problem when money comes in. Always. And I can tell you what, if they go to the next courthouse and they don't win that lawsuit, in the end, it will be all about Gypsy, and she'll be navigating for herself to secure deals with books, podcasts, TV shows, documentaries, movies. The family won't be able to navigate that for her. They could ask, hey, can I be the manager, the this? But it'll be up to her to say yes or no. And I'm telling you, I don't see it working. I don't see it working. Because somebody eventually is going to fall out about the almighty dollar. Oh, you took too much. Oh, I didn't get that check. It's going to be something. And then she'll be back on TV crying and moaning to the world how she feels duped by her family. I smell it. I smell it. Because in the end, she's going to have to be able to navigate for herself anyway. She can't assume these people are going to always be around to navigate on her behalf. She's going to have to be able to know how to talk to people herself, know how to read a legal contract, have somebody look at the legal contract. Then she's got to pray she can hope, pray that she has a decent lawyer that's not trying to dupe her. It's a fucked up place to be in. This is how many people get duped because they don't know how to read the fine print. So they hire somebody to do it. And God forbid they try to weasel money out of them, sign for stuff, take checks and things without your knowledge. That's why Oprah Winfrey always said, sign your own checks. Don't let nobody sign your check for you. Don't let nobody share an account with you. Exactly. Put everything in your name only. Don't let nobody else be on the account or on the check. Same thing with the lawyer. I tell him the same. And I tell the company I'm dealing with, you give me my money and I'll pay the lawyer. You don't ever let the lawyer get the whole check. Because the lawyer can get the check and never tell you he got the check or she got the check. And then you're sitting here waiting. And he's lying to you. And then you finally get in contact with the company. And then you find out, oh, we already sent you that check 6 months ago. And now you're feeling like a damn fool. And I've heard that story before. We learned that with that mess in South Carolina. With the Murdoch case. He was getting checks for his clients, but he wouldn't give them the checks. He was spending the money because he was a pillhead. And what he would do is he'd rob from one person to the next. He'd get your check, spend it up, and then he would get the next person's check and try to take that money to divvy up and pay off the last person whose money he stole. This world is vicious. I don't see an end to this, quite frankly. I really, really don't. I see more drama with Gypsy Rose. I see more drama. And what's going to be even more funny is if Ryan don't sign the damn divorce papers because he's still in love with her. I won't doubt he says, I'm not signing these papers. I still love you. As you heard in his commentary, he says, I haven't seen her since we had a disagreement. So, Gypsy, Ryan, what was the disagreement about? Because you didn't tell us here in this conversation or the few minutes they played of the clip. What was the disagreement about? I'm curious. I'm very curious. Well, exactly. That's all she knows. She's still a child in the head. So I don't really expect much from her, quite frankly. But she's been groomed all her life. She's been groomed all her life. So you really can't expect anything from her. Extra is my last source. All the other content, feel free to check out my community page pertaining to Gypsy Rose and Ryan.
Yeah, I'm doing it considered.
Everything going on, yeah, I'm alive, I'm well, I'm breathing.
Yeah, I mean, take us back just a little bit. How did this all first happen in the first place? It started through letter correspondence, right?
Correct. It was one of those where COVID was going on, and I used to work at a hospital before I was teaching, and it was one of those, we were sitting around bored, COVID happened, and I wrote a letter, and it just started that way. You know, I wrote a letter, I didn't think anything of it. You know, it was one of those, like, have a good life, and if you'd love to chat more, here's my email address, and if not, take care of yourself. And then she reached out, and it started from there, and it went from emails to phone calls, and that's how it happened.
What was it about her that captivated you and drew you in?
You know, I love her voice. I do. Something about her voice, it's different. It's very different, but I also love her laugh.
I love her voice. Well, this might be creepy to some people, Ron, because you work with children. So her voice is childlike. Some people feel like it's an orchestrated voice from P.Diddy. Nonetheless, it's still creepy that a man who works with children would say, I like her voice, I like her laugh. Well, it's creepy. Very creepy. Now, you've messed up by telling this because you went from working from a hospital to working with children. So then we have to ask ourselves, who are you and what kind of person are you? Because a lot of times, people who take up with people who are incarcerated, they have issues themselves. We call them Captain Saberhose. No disrespect. Were you trying to save her, sir? Trying to save yourself? What kind of life have you had? What type of rearing did you have with your parents? Good relationships? Solid relationships? Christianity? Christian parents? Any type of nefarious deeds went on in your life? Family? Don't know. When was the last time you dated? Did you date anybody while you were corresponding with Gypsy Rose? Bingo card. One question nobody has asked. Were you dating, sleeping, having sexual relations with a woman, a man, whomever, while with her? I also question if he was heterosexual or not. Just asking. You never know with people. And then the ultimate question is, why her? Exactly. Why would you correspond with a woman who has conspired to kill her mother? Many people are going to ask that. Why? You didn't know her. She's just a random person. People go to jail every day for murder, homicide, attempted murder, torture. Why would you want to write her? COVID or not, you still had to have been thinking about her. Why? Are you fascinated with her? Fascinated with the crime? Do you have some type of sadist hang-ups yourself? You have to ask all those questions. It's no disrespect to you, Ryan, but some people will say this is bizarre. This isn't your average person that you go write a letter to. You know, whether it's fraud, theft, selling drugs, using drugs, torture, murder, attempted murder. We realize these people get letters all the time. Church groups get involved and minister to them. Next thing you know, somebody's pen paling them. And next thing you know, somebody's in love. Is it a case of loneliness? You were lonely. And you saw something in this photograph. Court hearings. And you became fascinated with the felon for some sick reason. So we still have to question who you are and how you got yourself in this debacle, because indeed it is. It's scary as hell to some.
She was able to make me laugh, and I was able to make her laugh, and, you know, we still have that. So it's one of those where just love laughing with her. That's what we have.
Were you surprised that she returned a note back to you?
It was like an invitation to email. But yeah, I was very shocked. I remember walking into work and was like, "You'll never guess."
So this was by way of email.
Yeah, like
how did you get her email?
Well, actually, I just put my email in the letter, and then she was able to invite me. Like they have a system, like through Securus.
This guy's crazy.
And it was just an invite. I got an email. I was invited by Gypsy Rose Blanchard to start email correspondence, and I just followed the steps.
So look, many people out there that are watching may feel like, you saw this woman, you write her a letter,
right? She's
in jail. You have a whole relationship in which you didn't really actually
know her,
connect in person, right? Until when? And then you guys get married?
Well, we had visitation.
Okay.
Like we couldn't visit during COVID. So it was one of those, it was like a year and a half after we started talking on the phone before I met her. And then, once we met, we decided to commit to each other, and it just went from there. Like it wasn't anything I was wanting to happen. It just organically took place. It was just one of those
organically.
We just started talking. I never expected to marry her, and it's one of those things that just happened. And, May would have been 4 years that we've been talking. See, people think like we just got married right away. And no, July would have been 2 years we've been married. So, we have a good emotional connection with each other. We still always have.
I know you've been vocal about that. She has been vocal about that as well, that you two really had this very strong connection. And even when you all would talk on the phone, you would know immediately where she was at emotionally.
Yeah, like we still have that. Like me and Gypsy, the love we have for each other hasn't changed. It's just a lot of things have taken place. But love was never our issue.
So then what happened?
And just a lot of stuff. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm still processing. Yeah. Still reflecting and trying to piece things together. Because
a lot of stuff. Like what? People want to know. Talking in circles, Ryan. What happened? What happened with you and Gypsy Rose? You give a vague commentary that everything playing out on the TV, social media, her getting upset at negative comments. So what are you saying? You got tired of listening to her complaining? Turn it off. Turn the TV off. Turn the radio off. Turn the YouTube off. Turn the TikTok off. Stop looking. Stop watching. I don't want to hear about it no more. Hey, I'm over here. Is that what was going on, Ryan? She was so self-absorbed in the negativity that you got lost in the shuffle. It's all about her. Is that what happened? Were you jealous of her? Jealous of the attention she was getting? What's the truth? Is there anything personal about you she became to dislike, detest? Who's to say? Personal hygiene? Maybe you didn't put your socks away in the drawer. Leave your shoes out. Were you a slob? Didn't put the toilet down? See, it could be a lot of things. The kind of things that people won't tell on a broadcast. Because why would I want to do that? So you can show enough start talking about me like a damn dog. Could this be personal stuff behind the scenes? Because you're hearing one of the episodes of that lockup show. He was like, you've been in tune with this guy. Obviously, go call him. So obviously, his name came up a lot. This Urkel person. His name came up a lot. So somebody had to be bringing the name up. It couldn't be no more than she's bringing the name up. He's bringing the name up. Which is it? Both. Did he catch her talking to him? Did he see messages in her phone? Did he go in her phone? See, something is amiss here. Because I saw that in one of the trailers. He's telling her, well, go on and call him. You've been talking to him anyway. Go and call him. Something like that. So has she been talking to him ever since she got out? I got a feeling she did. Because for her to go to him 2 weeks before she meets up with Ryan out of prison, something was on your mind to where, or when she got out of prison, wherever she met with him, something is off there. Why are you going to talk to this man or meet with him? For what? Talk about what? It doesn't make any sense. What did you two need to talk about? And then you say, oh, well, you know, I was trying to do the right thing for my marriage. Well, if you're doing the right thing for your marriage, you wouldn't even be talking to him. You would tell him, well, however you all are reconnected, you'd say, well, I'm getting ready to get out of prison. I don't think it's a good idea we talk or call. And then if you got out of prison, he was trying to reach you or find you or using your family as a messenger, you should have told him, I'm not interested. If he reached out to your social media, I'm not interested. If your parents or somebody came passing a message, you should have told them, I'm not interested. Tell him I'm not interested. I'm married. It's not a good idea. We don't need to be talking. I smell bullshit.
Just happened 2 months ago, and a lot has happened in that 2 months. So it's one of those where I'm just trying to pinpoint it. There's really no one answer, really.
Did you all sit down and have that really excruciating, tough conversation?
Oh, Virginia killing me.
Yes and no. Yes and no. Like, we had a disagreement, and then I haven't seen her since.
Hold on, let me go back.
Like, you know, it's one of those things that just happened. And, you know, May would have been 4 years that we've been talking. See, people think like we just got married right away, and no, July would have been 2 years we've been married. So, you know, we have a good emotional connection with each other. We still always have.
I know you've been vocal about that. She has been vocal about that as well, that you two really had this very strong connection. And even when you all would talk on the phone, you would know immediately where she was at emotionally.
Yeah, like we still have that. Like me and Gypsy, the love we have for each other hasn't changed. You know, it's just a lot of things have taken place.
The love we have for each other hasn't changed. Excuse me. It had to have changed, Ryan. She's left you. She's now with that other guy over there. Come on now. Emotional connection. So if there's such an emotional connection that brought you two together, then why are you two divorcing? If there's love, why are you two divorcing? Why did she leave Ryan? Are you going to ever tell the truth? Because I smell bullshit. I think it's way more than what you're alluding to, the public, the paparazzi, negative comments on social media. If she had a focus, she wouldn't be worried about what people are saying about her on social media. That's why you need a job. You need a job. You need to go to school. Stay focused. Exactly. I don't know, Cornbread, he might. Yeah, something changed. And I won't doubt, it probably got overwhelming. They're filming all the time. They're showing up. They got to go run on a plane, go over here, go over there. She should have been more worried about being on fucking probation and doing what them probation people want, which is sitting your ass down and getting you a damn job. You wouldn't have time to be worried about what people are saying on social media if your ass went to work and you was doing something. You're not doing anything. You're just sitting around taking selfies all day and looking at what the fuck somebody is saying under your IG post. Get your ass up and go do something. Hello, Moon. You have too much free time on your hand. Too much free time. It's a devil's workshop. Just sitting around all day looking at IG and looking at YouTube and looking at TikTok and looking at what the people are saying. If you had a job and you were going to school, you wouldn't have time to look at that bullshit. And then you're probably one of them crazy people you want to respond. Can't respond to every comment, negative comment. Then you got mad. Then you shut the page down. Well, this is why you have to think first. You're one of those people that jump in a swimming pool and see there's no water in there. Oh, I think I'll take a swim today. But I see there's no water in the pool. Just jump in, head first, and then come back up talking about your head split. Yeah, it's split because there's no water in the pool. Make it make sense. This is bizarre.
But love was never our issue. So then what happened? I mean, just a lot of stuff. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm still processing. Yeah. Still reflecting and trying to piece things together. Because, it just happened 2 months ago. And a lot has happened in that 2 months. So it's one of those where I'm just trying to pinpoint it. There's really no one answer, really.
Did you all sit down and have that really excruciating, tough conversation?
Yes and no. Yes and no. Like we had a disagreement, and then I haven't seen her since. Like that's what's crazy is I haven't seen her since we were. It's like 1 minute we were married, and the next we weren't.
Have you talked to her?
So basically, she's a runner, runaway bride. We had a disagreement, and poof, she disappeared. So basically, this is what she's going to do with this guy, this other guy. What's the difference? Keep telling you. Gypsy Rose don't realize she's carrying the same weight with her. Same book bag. She's carrying the same book bag with her. What's the difference? Because if she'll run away with you and don't even respond, talk, she'll do the same with him. Soon as shit gets bad, they have a disagreement. He's complaining, she's complaining. She will be right back at her parents' house or sleeping at a bus station, whatever the hell she's going to do, get a hotel room. Because she does not know how to deal with people emotionally. She's still a child in her head. She has problems.
Yeah, we communicate.
So then did she just immediately move out of the house?
Yeah, it's kind of like I'm going to my parents for the weekend, and all of a sudden it was, I'm not coming back.
What was the argument about?
Random stuff. Nothing major.
Really?
Well, it was. I'm not ready to disclose that.
Sure.
Did it have
Why
to
not?
do with
Ken?
possibly?
So she kept up a relationship with him even after you two began
Not really.
Oh, okay.
It wasn't like people think. It was, there were other things that happened. Like it was another influence that kept pushing Ken on her. And, thought somebody had our back and was wanting us to fail. And yeah.
Bingo card. Right there. Tell you Queen ain't dumb. Another influence pushing Ken on her. Who might that be, Ryan? Was it her mother, her stepmother, her father? See, didn't I just tell you somebody probably was sending him messages and he was, whoever this person he's speaking of was probably bringing messages back to her on his behalf. Who was that? Lord have mercy. You go, Queen. Because I sure said it. Because what did I say? I said, well, why would she be corresponding with him anyway? She getting ready to get married. I mean, she getting ready to move with this man. Didn't make no sense. What are you doing talking to him for? For what? So did somebody contact him? Hey, here's Gypsy Rose, blah, blah, blah. Call her. Why would you be doing that? She's with Ryan. Or she got out, things weren't working out. She went complaining to her family, sister, somebody. And then they went and told Urkel what was going on. And then he, poof, voila, popped back in. See, it's some bullshit here. There's something off. Because if she really likes this man, she was happy and loved. They have this emotional connection. How does the other guy fit into the picture? Make it make sense. And it's already come out. She met with him 2 weeks before something. So I don't understand what the fuck they're saying. And the one thing I need to tell myself, you're probably not going to get the truth. For all I know, Urkel started talking to her before she got up for release. Ding, ding, ding. But she was already tangled up with Ryan. And maybe she became fascinated that now the guy she liked is back interested for whatever peculiar reason. See, we don't know because ain't nobody probably going to ever tell the truth. Because Ryan's not telling everything for whatever reason. So you don't really know what to believe. But I got a feeling Urkel probably started talking to her right when he knew she was getting ready to get out. Wanted to schmooze his way back in for some sick reason. It's something. Or she really was still hung up on the Urkel guy all this time she's been dealing with Ryan. Take your pick. I don't know. It's something. It's something real strange. And he's not trying to tell it.
Also, a little bit of betrayal in there too.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it just happened so fast, man. Like when I say I'm blindsided, I really, really am blindsided about how fast things happen. You know, it's one of those, you know, we were married, everything was good, and all of a sudden we're no longer married and we don't see each other. And it was just, I mean, it's like a snowball. I always say it was a snowball. It just kept going, and now it's so big you can't stop it now. And it's depressing.
Mm-hmm. How have you been able to move yourself through over the last 2 months?
Man, I had to go back to work. I had to keep living. You know, it's one of those you have to dust yourself off and, you know, pick up the pieces and do it. You know, I married Gypsy because that was the one for me. You know, like that was who I wanted to be with the rest of my life.
You had to go back to work. So what are you telling us? You haven't worked since what? December? Come on, don't tell me that. This content was uploaded 5 days ago. So then you got to ask yourself, when did they film this video? It's now June. January, February, March, April, May, June. 6 months, Ryan. Well, what are you saying, honey? Please don't tell me you have not been to work. How are you going to explain being off of work 5, 6 months? That don't make no sense. She's not in a hospital. She's not sickly. We heard this in the beginning. You took some time off, you know, when she got out, because that was a holiday then when she got out. She got out, you know, right near the New Year. So I'm trying to understand what this comment means. Well, I had to go back to work. Most people would say, well, I just focus on work. They don't say I went back to work. There's a difference. Going back means you haven't been working. So what the hell have you been doing? How have you been taking care of yourself? In the background of your videos, it looked like you live in a trailer park. Interesting. So did you ever ask her about upgrading with her newfound money from the documentary? Did you all have separate accounts? Joint accounts? See, all that's going to matter. The life after lockup episodes. How much do they pay you per episode? Because I don't think they pay as much as they do the Housewives of Atlanta and all those shows. So how much did you all get for filming each episode? See, all that's going to matter. All that's relevant. I know there's way more to this story.
And, you know, and she wanted that. And, you know, and as a prisoner, she has to set all that up. You know, like I can't talk to the chaplain. I can't do anything. Like she has to do all of that. So at any point she could have said, no, I don't want to get married. But, you know, she went through with it. And we went through it. That's what we wanted. And then all of a sudden it wasn't.
Do you feel taken advantage of?
No, not really. I mean, I don't think I was used. You know, but a lot of people say that I was used and abused and stuff like that. But I don't feel that from her. You know, as well.
He doesn't feel used. Do you all agree? I think I put this on my community page a few months back when it broke that they were getting a divorce. I'll put it up again. Do you feel like she used him starting back when she was incarcerated? See, you still got to go back due to her history. Did she use him while she was incarcerated? 2, she's free. Did she use Ryan once free? Do you think she was still hung up on this other guy this entire time? Locked up and then also free, but she felt obligated to play house with Ryan. Could this be the problem? She had never gotten over the other guy. And then they were corresponding and never stopped. And then her heart told her, let Ryan go. Free Willie. Sorry about that. I couldn't resist. Free Willie. Get the one you love. Well, it's a mess now.
One of those that just life got in the way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Since we've done.
That's why he's talking about hurt feelings. He don't feel used, right? Well, I don't know, honey.
So, up to this point, if I'm hearing you correctly, you have not had an opportunity to sit with her and even just to simply ask her why.
Not face to face, no.
Wow.
I haven't seen her in 2 months, and we've been split up 2 months. So it's one of those where it happened very fast. And it's a lot to process, man. It's like I'm still in like shell shock mode. I'm still in reflection mode. I'm still in. There's a lot of things I'm trying to piece together, and I know what things happen. I know how they happen. I know why they happen. But it's just one of those of you're just reflecting.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So you didn't really know that she was carrying on this other relationship. I don't know. You didn't really know that she was continuing correspondence. Correct, Ken. You were not aware of that.
There we go.
When did you find out?
After she left.
Did she tell?
Bingo card. Finally. Damn. It's like pulling teeth. They had been corresponding, her and Urkel. And he did not know. Is he telling the truth? He texted stepmom the day she got out. Okay, that's why I'm saying something was going on. That's why I said something was either going on while she still was locked up or when she got out. It's something. So he says here, I feel like somebody who I thought had our back, was playing him against me. So that can't be anybody but her family. Somebody in the family. So stepmom, what role do you play in this nonsense? Were you the messenger? Did you tell her, hey, he messaged me, blah, blah, blah. You need to talk to him. Do you want to talk to him? And if you passed the message, why'd you do that when you knew she was with Ryan? Are you also the catalyst to this bullshit? You got your own husband. Why don't you worry about your husband? Because I got a feeling shit's getting ready to hit the fan when it's time to divvy up these coins. Ting, 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 ting. And eventually she will not be needing you all. She will have her own place, own trailer, shed, whatever. She won't need you. And she's going to want her money to herself because she's an adult. And it's not saying she doesn't want to help you all, but frankly, she's not really in the shape to be helping anybody because eventually people are going to start talking about you all next. That you all are pimping her, using her to get money, funds, because what we're going to say is, let's say that lady actually secured deals for her while she was incarcerated. Who was going to have access to that money, y'all? Were you going to give her her portion when she got out of prison? Would there have been something to give to her? Oh, y'all weren't expecting that, were you? I stay woke. What's that old saying? Out of sight, out of mind. Securing deals. She puts the family's name or daddy's name on the documentary or the checks. Bank account. She can't open a bank account because she's locked up. She can't sign. She can't do shit. Then imagine you get somebody willing and dealing for you while you locked up. You come out. They ain't got nothing to give you. That's why I'm telling you, it's getting ready to be a problem. Unless she's just straight gullible. Oh, I'll be your manager. I'll put my name on this, blah, blah, blah. I'm telling you, it's going to get old. Because let me tell you what's going to happen. The same people rooting and passing messages for Urkel, he'll end up falling out with them down the road. Because eventually they'll want to play house together. I already got one video that loaded up that said they done moved in together, but let her tell it they weren't going to move in together. Gypsy Rose ain't about to tell you the truth. Oh, yeah, we live together. We stay together, blah, blah, blah. That's what I'm trying to tell you. She's going to want her own money to herself at some point. That guy is going to want the same for her because he's with her. He's not going to want to be with a woman playing house and her daddy or mama is over her bank account or her checks. So that's why I'm telling you, this shit is getting ready to bust at some point.
Tell you?
Yes and no.
What does that mean?
I mean, like, after I was confronted, I confronted her about it, and she told me the truth.
So someone else told you?
I saw them got together that like I saw a picture and all that.
Wow.
And there's a lot happened. A lot happened.
I can only imagine how.
He saw a picture of them. Damn, Gypsy, that's how you rocking? See, that's why Ryan don't really want to tell us everything, but he's slowly telling it. He has a messy relative in it. Because he says it. Somebody I thought had our back didn't. Pitting him against me. Okay, they can't be nobody but family. Now you found a picture, besides them corresponding, you were getting jabbed, knife jabs by Gypsy Rose and whomever the family member is. This is fucked up. Taking pictures with a man that you married. Come on now. This is shit men do. Take pictures with the mistress and think the wife ain't gonna find out. And Gypsy Rose, you forgot people are following you all around down there in Louisiana. They talk, small towns, they gossip. You can't go anywhere down there and meet up with another man and you think people don't know what you look like with your long nose tail. You ought to be ashamed of yourself. You ought to be glad somebody wants your ass. Now, I'm gonna talk shit now. You ought to be glad somebody will want you. I said it. Honored. You should feel honored that a man would even look at you in that way. Play house with you. Because in the end, you could have ran away from Diddy. You did once. You went to some type of comic convention. So the same way you snuck out to the comic convention, you could have snuck out and stayed away from Diddy. Checkmate. Hey, Mary Frances. You know the queen.
How difficult this is being in the public eye and I have to find out that type of information as it pertains to your significant other in a public manner as opposed to
Not just your significant other, your wife.
right, yeah.
Not just a girlfriend, your actual wife. Yeah, it was damaging.
Mm-hmm.
There's a big scar there.
Who's supporting you through this?
Oh, I got my family and friends. I got my people. I got my dog too. We got little Pixie. It's a mouse sheep, Maltese Shih Tzu mix.
Yeah.
Yeah, in the docu-series, you'll see how we get Pixie and all that. It's a beautiful dog.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but I got the dog.
Are you apprehensive? Do you have any type of apprehension about watching all this play back in this documentary?
I watched the first episode. It was hard. It was one of those where you see it and you see the love we have for each other and you see those moments and you realize they weren't that far along. We weren't that far. It wasn't that long ago.
Was it love though? Because some are going to say it wasn't love. That she could just bail out that quick, stinky feet, stinky socks. Sex wasn't up to par as she thought it should be. Let her tell it was good penis. Oh, God. Chew my paw off. Sex could have been too good. She went and found it with somebody else who she ain't never had sex with. So what's that? The issue? Gypsy Rose, you went and snuck off with this guy, tried it. You tried the salami sandwich and, tastes kind of good over here. Now, you're not interested in big boy anymore. Don't mean to be derogatory. I'm just trying to make sense of how the hell all this came to be. 3 months? Yeah. They've been married for a year and a half. It'll be 2 years next month that they were married. They married while she was in prison. So they've been corresponding for a while, then married. Then she gets out, December. They played house for 3 months. She left him over something, and here we are. Hello, Shelly. Thank you, sweetie. Been corresponding with him. Yeah, that's a jab to the throat right there. Then they're taking pictures. You find that. Then you realize a family member, they've been pitting them against you. Yeah, I'd be pissed off too. I mean, you don't have to like the situation, how they met. The point is, it's still betrayal. because there's a way of doing things. She should have just told him, hey, I want to thank you for everything you've done for me, but I made a mistake. I still have feelings for this other guy, so I think. We've been corresponding. I want to go. Let Gypsy Rose tell it, oh, it's not about him at all. That's not why I'm divorcing him. Well, it's something. You're talking to him and you didn't tell the truth. Because I got a feeling you would have never told Ryan had he not found out. So that's a problem for Queen. And I would say, hey, it's a problem for Ryan as well. He's the one married to your ass. I ain't married to you. So my thing is, when were you going to tell him you've been talking to this other guy, Gypsy? But then you're going to tell the people out here, oh, he's not the reason we're not together. He ain't the reason. So you just threw a temper tantrum for what? The day y'all fell out and then ran off to mommy and daddy. What if there was no mommy and daddy? What if there was no daddy? Where were you going to run? I'll wait. You got this money from Lifetime. I sure hope your name's on your checks. Because I'm trying to figure out why a grown woman didn't just go get a hotel room. You should have had enough money from the documentary to go get a room. Nice hotel. Stay woke. Stay woke, everybody. Does Gypsy Rose have money in her name from the documentary? Because what's going to be funny if we find out she don't got shit in her name. Her money is in mommy and daddy's name. Ding, 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 ding. Because how are you going to keep dating this man living with your mom and daddy? When you all decide to become intimate, if you haven't already, well, where are you going to do it at? I'll wait. Where are you going to become intimate, Gypsy, if you haven't already? Pay attention, everybody.
But that transpired. So you see all that and you just wonder, like, what happened?
Are you hopeful that you'll have a conversation with her?
We talk. It's nothing like but I've never had a face-to-face sit down.
But when you guys talk, what are you talking about?
We reminisce, we talk.
Oh.
Yeah, I didn't know that.
We have talked in the 2 months. It's just still piecing things together, though. It's one of those where, it's hard to talk about certain things.
Mm-hmm.
It's happened, and, it's just hard.
Mm-hmm.
And plus we're in the process of a divorce. So it's one of those where that happened really quick, too. When I'm telling you, it just snowballed so fast. And I think it was out of her control as well.
What do you mean out of her control? It was her decision.
Yeah.
Exactly.
It was.
Call it out.
There's other things at play.
Mm-hmm.
I'm Garrett Holt.
Sorry about that. Ryan is ducking the questions. What really happened? Because I'm getting more and more confused. He's giving a little bit of tea, but he's still not telling what really happened. What did you two fall out about, sir? What is the fucking problem? What is it? Is it the other guy? What is it? Other things like what? Money? Because that's the only thing that can be left is money. Money, sex, and personal issues such as hygiene, meddling relatives. That's all it can be.
One of her friends has alleged that you got into Gypsy's face and you screamed at her. In your assessment, were you ever overly aggressive or physically threatening to her?
No, I've never physically threatened Gypsy at all. And she knows that. She's even said that. She's not afraid of me, and there's no reason to be.
Where would that come from?
I'm sure it was during our disagreement. Gypsy said some hurtful things, and I did get angry. I got upset. It's hard to hear stuff like when you're going through something and she tells you something. It's hard to hear. So as far as, me in her face screaming, if that's what she gathered from that, I hate that. But, it didn't happen quite like the friend said. And, it's just a disagreement, and it snowballed from there. Gypsy does struggle with PTSD from what her mother did. And I hit a trauma trigger that night, and she fled. And it's one of those where I saw it.
I hit a trauma figure. What did you say? Did you say something? Push her, shove her, pull her hair? What? Pinch her? What? Push her down? What? Why is the friend saying it's what? Controlling, physical, whatever? She had to gotten that from her, unless she's wanting 5 minutes of fame making up stuff. See, now we're bringing a friend into the group. Lord have mercy. He said and she said. Gypsy Rose, what did you tell your friend? What have you told your friend? Is this woman really her friend? So you got to ask all those questions. What happened the day they got into it? What did he say to her? Did he bring up something about her past? Did he call her manipulative? Did he say, you're just like Dee? Oh, yeah, that would hit a nerve, sure enough. You're just like your mother. Did he say something really below the belt? Did he accuse her of maybe becoming a, you know what? Somebody maybe called her a murderer. I don't know. Did he tell her she's manipulative? Did he say, hey, you should still be locked up? What did he say? Because I got a feeling he probably went below the belt. He's just not telling us.
It happened, and I immediately stopped and tried to check on her. And by then, it was like that fight or fight PTSD moment happened. Mm-hmm. And that's what happened. I hit a trauma trigger, and it just never stopped.
I hit a trauma trigger. Okay.
It just kept going.
Some are also saying that she may have felt that life with you was too controlling after coming out of prison. How do you respond to that?
I disagree with that completely. If anybody knows Gypsy, they know that she is not going to be controlled. Anybody who knows Gypsy knows that she does what she wants when she wants. Just look at what she's been doing. She does what she wants whenever.
Now, I agree with that. Some degree.
Controlling, I don't know how. That's their perception. And I think their perception is wrong. As far as controlling, they said I wouldn't let her go swimming. You realize it was February when she wanted to go swimming. That's in the middle of winter. The pool's closed. Like, I've seen that a lot. I didn't let her go swimming. That was the only thing I ever told her no to. And the reason was we were both sick, and she'd have got pneumonia and she went swimming.
Well, this goes to show you she's a child, if you believe this information. She wants to go swimming. He said, it's the only time I told her no. It's February. We're sick. Well, I agree. Where you going to go swimming, Gypsy? In the swamp? Even though it's warmer in Louisiana in the winter months still. Who the hell wants to go swimming? Want to go swimming? Well, she probably never swam as a child. So this is what I'm trying to explain. She's still a child. She's a grown woman with a child's mindset. I want it right now. I want it right now, Mommy, Daddy. I want to go right now. I want to go right now. Well, you know what I'd have told her? Get your ass on. You want to go swimming? Call your Uber. Shit, what you talking about? She ain't a child. Let her go. It's not like having a kid and your kid wants to go swimming in the fucking wintertime. Hell yeah, you tell them no. She grown. Honey, I'll see you when you get back. That's all I would have said. Call your Uber. They can take you to the nearest community center, racket club, exercise club, and you can swim till you're blue in the face. Wouldn't bother me none. Fuck it. She want to swim? Let her swim. She want to stay on social media? Let her stay on there. I wouldn't give a fuck. Because this was going to probably be the breaking point at some point. Her having tantrums about what she wanted to do, this, that, and the other. Let her. Because eventually you two weren't going to make it anyway. Because you just said it. Well, she's going to do what she want to do. But sometimes what you think is good isn't good. And when you're married, you have to think about what you're doing for also your spouse. When you're single, you can rant and rave and fall out on the floor and have tantrums and get on social media and bitch and moan. But you have somebody else to think about. You have a husband. Number two, if you decided you wanted to have children, you now have to think about your child and your behavior and your ways. So this is why you know, 1, she does not need a relationship. 2, she does not need a child. 3, she don't need a dog. 4, she don't need a cat. People like her need to be solitaire. Learn yourself, like yourself, grow to get used to yourself. She needs her own space, her own place. where she can roam as she sees fit. She also needs a therapist. I won't doubt she really she needs a fucking social worker. She needs somebody to check in on her and make sure she's mentally fully equipped. But right now, she's being, coddled by her family. And I am all for family support. But at some point, they're going to have to push the little birdie out. And the birdie is going to have to go out to navigate. This is why I said she needs a therapist and possibly a social worker, life coach, somebody to guide her. Because eventually she's going to have to be on her own. And if you're out here having sex, this is just how Queen thinks. Once you decide to have sex, you need to be in your own fucking house. You do not need to be sleeping in other people's houses and you're having sex with people. So if you can navigate to put your private part with another private part, you need your own damn place. And that's how I feel.
But that's the one thing that, they latch on to that I was
Yes,
controlling
bro.
about. And it's just ludicrous.
If she were to call you today and say that she wanted to try again, call off the divorce, and reconcile your marriage, what would you say?
That's a hard one. With everything that's happened, like my pride gets in the way, my ego, a lot has happened. It's one of those, it would be a lot of steps that have to be taken. It's one of those where, the love I have for Gypsy has never gone anywhere. It's still there. I married her. But it would be hard. It'd be hard to, that's just I don't think that conversation is going to happen. I really don't. So, who knows though.
Do you have any regret about anything?
I try not to live in regret. It's one of those where I know that my intentions were pure and genuine and I was there for Gypsy. So as far as regret, I don't really have any regrets on my behalf.
A lot of people out there have thoughts and have opinions about you, may think that they know you. How do you describe yourself?
Well, what you see is what you get. So if they see me on screen and get assumptions about me, I'm just genuine. I'm just myself. I don't change. It's not like a light goes on and I'm a different person. So, what they're seeing in the documentary is who I am. I've never not been Ryan. So, yeah. So, people are going to make all kind of judgments and assumptions, and it's hard to hear that. Because I'm just a normal guy. Just fell in love with Gypsy Rose Blanchard. It just is what it was.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. And thank you.
ExtraTV.com is the source if you need verification. So there you have it. People may think they know you. Exactly. Because we judge. We're human. It's what we do. Everybody's got the answer to the question. I don't know either one, but what I do know is this. It was a bad idea for him to marry her for the obvious reasons. She was programmed by a sadistic human being who she later conspired to murder. And a lot of you have a lot to say about her celebrating Mother's Day, and some thought that was weird and outrageous. I didn't really go into the content about that because I didn't really feel like getting into all that. But the point is, she was programmed at a young age. So that's what people need to always remember. She was programmed. But once you become an adult, people expect you to act like one. Well, you can't really expect the person to act like one if they were groomed. She was groomed. She was groomed. We also hear allegations of essay with the mother and a grandfather and just some other crazy stuff. It's just a bad situation. And this is the reason why people act the way they act as adults, because of how they were raised. She's no different. So she's going to have problems just because of who raised her, Dee. But she should have been honest with Ryan. That's where I have the problem. If she used him in prison, hey, it's wrong. We get it. But it's expected as well, because this is what people do in prison. They hustle people to put money on their books. They get lonely. They want somebody to come see them. She probably got used to the inmates She didn't have friends. So like she said, I walked up to people, started talking because I never had any friends. But at some point, that's not going to be enough talking to another female inmate. Because you got to remember, she's going to start getting older. She wants to talk to a man. Won't keep talking to a woman. Hell, you're a woman and you're free. You don't want to keep talking to a woman every damn day. And that's where her problem started. Reaching out. They're reaching out. For whatever reason, they're reaching out. Is he genuine? I don't know. These are his words. You're entitled to your opinion. But people are going to still judge him. You shouldn't have done it. Should have got wrapped up with a woman locked up and was groomed by her mother, and she killed her mother, conspired to kill her mother. She was there when the mother was killed. You should know better. You should know better. But it's too late. He's done it. Water under the bridge. My thing is, if Gypsy didn't want him when she got out, she should have never went with him. Should have just told him the truth. I'm not ready to live with you. I don't want you. I used you. However it went, she should have just told him. Because it doesn't look right. You're out of prison, and 3 months later, you're out of the house, and you're filing for divorce, and you're asking for alimony, and then we see you're walking around with this fucking guy at the fucking Dollar General. How the hell does that look? That looks orchestrated. I'm sorry. If this was 6 or 7 months later, we saw you at the Dollar General with this guy, I might feel different. But the fact that I see you with him right after leaving the house with Ryan, that led me to think, yeah, she had been talking to him. So now we hear from the horse's mouth that she had been talking to the other guy. He found a picture in her phone or whatever, wherever. They had some type of disagreement. He hit some trauma trigger, whatever the hell that means. And she ran out, stayed with her parents, and she's been gone ever since. He also tells you in this commentary he has been talking to her, but they have not physically seen one another. So they're either talking through text, video chat, or just on the phone. Does he still want her back? I don't know. Probably do, but don't want to admit it. Because nobody wants to admit they made a mistake and the person has done them in and they still want to be with them. What he has to tell himself, though, if indeed he wants to be with Gypsy Rose or she changes her mind, what he has to always remember is that he has been deceived by her. She probably don't have to be honest. That's the whole point of the story. She's been groomed. So you really can't expect much from her as a person. You lie for years. You got to remember, she's been lying from 8 to about 22. So 14 years of being a pathological liar and aiding a sadist. You are not getting ready to remove those attributes in 9 years of being incarcerated. And now you're going in a place where you're with more liars and manipulators. And that's where the hustle comes in to get pen pals, commissary. So now we went from being a hustler with our mother to a hustler in jail. Stay woke. So then you come out, it's double threat, triple threat. So you've been hustling, lying, manipulating with a co-conspirator. Now you're in with more co-conspirators, lying, manipulating, pill popping. We heard that. She was on pills in there. So she's been fucked up. And now you tangled up with this guy and you're coming out to the street and people expecting you to be normal, act right. It doesn't work like that. Can't act right. What was the trigger? What was the trigger, Luminous? You can't expect the person to come out and act right because she's been groomed too long. And then she's going in with other groomers, liars, thieves, whatever. And everybody's on a hustle in jail. Shit, you're bartering toilet paper for a Twinkie and a Twinkie for a cigarette. It's a hustle. And she had to learn that to survive in there. Well, hey, as opposites attract, birds of a feather, they attract as well. He looked like her mother. What? Girl, you talking crazy. What the hell you said? They both want each other for bad reasons. Well, maybe. Maybe he was a lonely guy. Naturally, she's lonely. She's in prison. There are no men in there for her to take up with, like, date, have sex. She's corresponding with this guy. He seems interested. Maybe they thought it was love. But you can't really mesh with a human until you are one. You're out, you're free. That's your test in life. Freedom. Just like when people are locked up and they say, oh, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do this. That shit don't mean nothing because talk is cheap. You don't know what you're going to do until you are free. You walk out. I'm just talking to the maintenance guy about that. He was talking about some personal relatives incarcerated and things like that. And I told him, I said, freedom is your test of what you're going to do when you get out. You can easily say what you're going to do, not going to do. You're not going to know until you're out here and you're free. And that's what happened with Gypsy Rose. She got free. She got a taste of freedom. Walk, go, do what you want, say what you want. But she wasn't ready for the repercussions of talking. So guess what? She definitely don't want to come to YouTube because they'll chew her alive. And they have already. All you got to do is look below the videos. Look at the comment box. Imagine that. Go below the comment box. And that's when you will see how people think of her, him, those, them, whomever. And let's read a few comments and I'm going to check out of here so I can get ready for live number 2. 758 comments. The fact that he doesn't talk shit on her name shows what type of man he is. 5 days ago. Let's see the replies. Exactly. He doesn't talk bad about her. Yep. Somebody says he's a bigger person than I am. Somebody else says he's a bigger than most of us. Now, that's not nice. Lord, forgive me. How could I not? It was right there. You got to understand. You know I don't handle the heat well. And TBF, that's on you, along with this urge to make inappropriate jokes. So just saying, I'm sorry. Of course he is, but he's definitely losing weight. Yes, I think he's losing weight as well. All right. These are just people talking stupid stuff. All the interviews I've seen, she's not said one bad word about him. If he thought ahead of time, if I don't say bad things about her, I'll look the better person. Duh. Well, they might be a point there too. Somebody says he is talking shit and playing BS. He has anger issues and he's trying to put on some fake BS to get liked. It's all gross. Lisa, 14 hours ago. Canadian Bell says, I'm alive and well and breathing, quote unquote. Well, thank the heavens for that. His book title should be I Survived Gypsy Rose Blanchard. Oh, Lord, that's bad. Yikes, yikes, yikes. Somebody says, you guys are so weird and unreal. Love Law says, this man wrote to her in prison and then married her. Let's not act like he was a victim. Eyes wide open says, and yet he is a victim. One of an endless string if she's not put back in prison where she belongs at Love Law. Somebody else, laughing emoji, 100, clapping hands. Someone else says to another opinion, no, we've done our homework on her. Maybe you should too. At Moonstone 115, somebody says, I did, and I'm happy she escaped and found freedom. Woo, Lord, they're bickering back and forth in the chat. Let's see. I followed Gypsy since she hit the headlines 10 years ago. There's nothing I don't know about her case, and I'm so pleased she's finally getting to experience freedom for the first time. She deserves it. Somebody else says, oh, absolutely. Then another person, Tina, says, what a sweetheart. I hope he can move forward in his life. He genuinely loves her. It's sad she used him for comfort and whatever else. You entitled to your opinion of Gypsy Rose. You entitled to your opinion of Ryan. You entitled to your opinion of this Urkel guy. And you also entitled to your opinion of her family. We don't know all the ins and outs of who said what, whom did what. But yes, Ryan has to take responsibility that he did reach out to a woman in jail for conspiring to kill her mother. Bottom line, he did not know her. She has a childlike mind and naturally has PTSD and other different things wrong with her. What mental disorders does she have? I do not know. Will people take advantage of her? Of course they will. She's a moving and walking target. And if you're a kind-hearted person and you're nice and you're gullible and naive, people will take advantage of you as well. So those are the questions you probably have. Has she changed? Is she a manipulator, grand hustler? Will it work with this new guy? Will she get back with Ryan? Will he have to pay her alimony? Will he move on, or will he crack up, fall by the wayside because of this damn girl? It'd be sad if it happens. What about the family? What do they have to say? What role did they play? Did they push her to get with Urkel or whatever his damn name is? I don't know, because I don't know all who said what, and nobody's going to admit to that anyway. Only a fool would get on national TV and say, yeah, I told her she needs to get with him, although she was married to Ryan. They ain't going to want to tell you that. Is he controlling, manipulative himself? Could be. Was he jealous of her? Could be. Does he have inadequacies? Could be. But nobody's going to tell you all that, because nobody wants to admit their sins to a national audience. She's not going to admit her sins, and he's not going to admit his. And if the family were involved in any type of way nefarious, they're not going to admit their wrongdoing either. So that's why you're never going to get the truth to what really happened between she and Ryan and the family and this other guy. But I think everybody needs to tread lightly, because I smell a bad situation on the horizon. If she ran and left Ryan with no notice, she would do the same to the other guy. And that's what he needs to understand. Old habits die hard. And it looks like to me, she's a runner. Shit don't go her way, she's going to run. She's not going to hit it. She's not going to stand firm and conquer it and own her shit. So while you're sitting here thinking you've got the victory and you want her, she will do the same to you. And then you'll be up here crying the extra Entertainment Tonight with the same bullshit. For Ryan, let it go. Sign the damn papers and tell the judge, I don't owe her shit. She's got money. She's got the potential to make money. I'm not paying her a damn dime. And that might be why he ain't working. He might be reading the lines saying, I ain't going back to no damn job. She's trying to suck me out of fucking money. I'm taking off from work. Maybe he quit. Maybe he got fired. I don't know. And I saw that as a problem as well. The school. Parents complaining possibly, hey, we don't want him working with our children. He's got a convicted felon under his belt. What type of mindset does he have? He can't think for himself. Oh, Tinderbox, you're killing me. And he probably does have some issues with himself. Insecure, not happy, lonely, pick up some strange kitty cat from prison. Then she dupes him. So he's ripe for the taking as well. Don't you all see? It's a pattern. Everybody's ripe to be manipulated. She can get manipulated because she can be a money maker. He can get manipulated because he's a nice guy, allegedly. Urkel guy, I don't know what the hell to say about him. I don't get it, because he hasn't been talking to her allegedly for years. So I don't know why he would even jump back in the swimming pool. That's my commentary. 2-part live. Sean Puffy Combs. His honorary degree from Howard University has been rescinded. They have stripped it away. The $1 million he donated last year, they're giving it back. And also the scholarship fund set at the university is no longer. Gypsy Rose. She and her family suing at April Johns for fraud. She did not keep up her agreement to get content, media, whatever, for Gypsy Rose. Is it true? Not true? You're entitled to your opinion. Case thrown out of court. Judge says wrong venue. So I'm assuming that means they didn't file papers in the right jurisdiction. And this was in the state of Missouri. Plays you a little bit of content pertaining to Ryan. His version, half-ass version of why it didn't work out. I still don't believe he's told us everything, which he admitted. It was a lot of things. What really happened between him and Gypsy, I do not know. Will she go back to him? Try to go back? I don't know. Will he take her back? I don't know. I don't think he should. I think he should move on, count his losses, keep it moving. Get back into doing your schoolwork and live your best life. Hopefully you'll meet a nice young lady who can be honest with you and value you for you. And preferably, don't pick up any more inmates. Stick to women who actually work, got a job, go to school. But in the end, he still could have problems because in the end, whether you're a criminal or not, you don't know people. That's my content. If you'd like to donate to this great network, $McGangie129, Cash App. Stickers and chats are always welcome during the live stream. Uh-oh. You know I'm coming back for live number 2. I'm about to get jiggy with it, baby. Woo, Miss Bobby, I see you been busy. You all up on these 4 panels already. JLR wasn't enough. You had to go over to the other girl's channel. What you got to talk to about her? Y'all could have met at the Starbucks or the steakhouse to talk. I said that. See, some of you don't pay attention. Oh, I'm glad she came out. I'm glad she came out. Well, what do you have to say about her now? Because now she's on panel number 2. All right, baby. She's on panel number 2. So how do you feel about Miss Bobby now? Stay woke. Miss Bobby, what do you have to tell us? Are you going to jump on somebody else's panel and keep repeating the same shit? Because in the end, if you did not see what happened on the February 26th, February 25th at the Proudfoot's house, it means nothing. I'm going to say that. And in the end, you're going to be the fall guy, fall girl. Because people want relevant information pertaining to the disappearance of a certain child. So if you don't have any information of seeing somebody go in, come out, if the child made it home, all this is just you talking. I would prefer to hear from the person that lives next door to them, across the street from them. And there's also some videos that have been released of flashlights, lights. I saw that on somebody's network last night. I smell bullshit coming. Because now, who was the person that released these flashlights? Oh, Lordy. I smell bullshit. I smell something. I don't know what these people are up to out there in Hendersonville, but somebody's up to something. I don't know what y'all trying to tell us. I don't know what message you're trying to send to us. But what is the purpose of releasing these videos of the flashlights? What's the point? Who is this person? What's the location of their house to the Proudfoots? And what are the Proudfoots going to say? Because at this point, I think the Proudfoots know what the hell's going on. Somebody is trying to tell us something. Now, what they're trying to tell us, I don't know. If they're just messy, but they're trying to tell us something. YouTubers crying about the desist letters. Cease and desist letters calling the police on the bio father. Why? You are talking about the child. So, I mean, what's the problem? You upset? Talk about something else. Let's go talk about something else. You want to cry and call the police? Oh, he sent me emails. They're not legal. So basically, you're telling him to make sure to send a legal email. That's what you're saying. Lord have mercy. After finding out she's good friends of TL, don't care now. Okay, Shelly, I got you. Yeah, they went to school together is what somebody said in the chat yesterday. So we don't really know. You don't really know what's going on with all these people. But I just think that once you go to panel 2 in less than 24 hours or 24 hours, yeah, I'm side-eyeing you. That's just me. Because I have to ask myself, what is this all about? You already talked to Mr. J. What do you got to go over there and jump on her panel or call in to talk about? For what? Talk about what? You already told the version. How many times you going to tell it? It's bullshit. I think it's real footage like the Linda Lane footage. Someone is trying to tell a story, puzzle pieces, only mixed puzzles. Yeah. Why didn't you give TL exclusive then? Exactly, Vivian. There you have it. You've been knowing about Terry Lynn. You've been knowing her however you knew her. That's a very good point. Why didn't you go talk to her instead of JLR. And people are going to wonder that. Well, you're from there. She's from there. Y'all knew each other. You knew she's a YouTuber. Why didn't you just call her up? Hey, I want to talk to you about that night or nights afterwards. Because I already said that in my video. Why 3 months later? It's weird. So we're going to put some shorts together in the YouTube queue after this live. Please look forward to watching them. And I'm also going to put up some more questions on the poll. Join me here in a couple hours. We're going to chop it up. The whales, this YouTuber bullshit, FBI calls. That's in somebody else's video in the queue. YouTubers crying and moaning, calling the police on Mr. Rogers. Man, you all are busy. Calling the police. What you calling the police for? Y'all sit up here on the live stream talking shit all the time and going off. Shit, buck up. Hey, what we say in the street? Nuck if you buck. Nuck if you buck. Y'all be knucking and bucking up here on YouTube. I keep trying to tell y'all about these folks on YouTube. They wouldn't bust a grape in the street. They wouldn't bust a grape. They wouldn't do shit to you if they saw you in the street. Walk right by you. That's exactly what's going on here. But what you calling the police for? That is strange to me. You sit up here on YouTube and talk bad about people all the time. You putting these people business out here 24/7, and then you get a fucking cease and desist and an email, and now you calling the police on Mr. Rogers. This is bizarre. You ain't scared? You ain't scared? Like they said, if you scared, go to church. You ain't scared, then what you calling the police for? Don't make any sense. Keep talking about the little boy. Yeah, tongue wrestling. Love it, perspective. Exactly. You're not going to stop talking about the child. You don't really care about the child, or you don't care at all. So why call the police on Mr. Rogers? I'm confused. This is where I'm confused. You don't care nothing about the kid. Because like Tony Mathis said, there are lots of children missing. Why don't you go talk about them? Exactly. Then go talk about somebody else. Well, what's the problem? Another neighbor with one of those videos coming out, Brittany. Say what? Another neighbor with one of those videos coming out. Shelly, I understand what you're saying. It's about to be a hot mess. It is a hot mess. I ain't gonna say about to be. This shit is non-stop roller coaster. Excuse me. It's too much. It's just too many irons in the fire. Everybody moaning and groaning and crying. Well, take your channel to a new level. There are other things that you can talk about. Just keep it real. You don't think he's serious? Go up, keep talking about the little boy. Find out. That's all I can tell you. Fuck around and find out. I mean, I don't know else how to work. If you're so concerned, I mean, just fuck around and find out how serious they are. You know, it's no different than what I'm saying with this Gypsy Rose stuff. You come out, you talk, and then you don't like the negativity. Well, you came out. So it's par for the course. Just the way it is. So all these people need to get something to do. Her name is Brittany, and she has one of those videos. Oh, okay. Yeah. So yeah, it is what it is. But I don't understand calling the police. And that's what's funny to me. You would call the police when you've been up here talking about these people and you're bickering with people and you're going to battle with other YouTubers and you're talking about other YouTubers in your videos. But as soon as somebody sends you a fucking email, you want to call the police. Who does this? So this lets people know you ain't really who you say you are in your live streams. You ain't jiggy. You ain't really what you claiming. Because you can't be tripping and going off and talking about everybody and fussing with everybody. But then when somebody sends you a letter, you cower down and like you scared. Well, you can't be scared because you up here. It's the risk you take when you up here talking. We all are at risk when we give our opinion. But do we lie about the people? No. I've given my opinion what I think of either parties. But I don't know for sure who did what. There's a difference. But if you're going to be bowdy, shit, buck up. Hey, act like we're in the street. What I say, I quit covering it. There's nothing more to cover except drama. Yeah, that's all you can talk about now is the drama. Why don't we got to talk about the little boy? I don't ever have to mention his name. These clowns are giving me content because obviously that's what you want. So that's what I'm saying. If you're going to be bowdy, then don't cry to the police. Don't cry to the FBI. Don't cry on your channel. Nook if you buck. Hey, shit, let's get gangster with it. You want to be bowdy? You want to be gangster? What hood we throwing up? Hey, let me know. Are we Bloods? Are we Crips? Are we GDs? Are we Vice Lords? Latin Kings? What we rolling with? Let Queen know. Hey, I grew up in Chicago, so you already know what side I'm riding on. I'm South Side, baby, so I ain't even got to say it on the live stream. That's the side I come from. That's the side I know. So what side are they on? What y'all throwing up? That's all I want to know. Everybody gangster, come on. Let's get jiggy with it. Let's get jiggy with it. That's it, Vivian. Just nonsense. Everybody gangster. Shit. Well, y'all gangster, go get your posse. You ain't gotta call the police. Go get your little gangbanger. Shit. Go get your Crip. Go get your Blood. Shit. Do your thing. Go and get them. Shit, I'll be sitting here waiting with my cup of coffee. I'll just be watching from the sidelines. And like they said, nook if you buck. Nook if you buck. Nook if you buck. Nook if you buck. Shit, I want to see it. Get down with it. Get jiggy with it. If not, sit down somewhere. Just sit down. Stop the bullshit. The Brittany I'm speaking of is a neighbor, not a... Okay. Well, like I said, you can't sit up here and act gangster and then cry about an email of a cease and desist. That's all I'm saying. If you're going to ride the ride, ride it all the way on out. But crying about it makes no logical sense because you have to own your part. You know you've talked about the man. You've talked about the Proudfoots. You've talked about the child. You've talked about various things on your channel. So it's just, like I said, par for the course. You got to own it. You know, you can't start crying and get upset and say, well, why they picking on me? Well, obviously that's how Mr. Rogers feel. You pick it on him. You don't have to like him. I don't have to like him. I don't have to like none of them. But if I've said something, I've said something. They don't have to like what I've said. And obviously that's what is going on. They don't like what people are saying about them on YouTube, social media. But naturally, we have to be logical. You can't sue everybody that's talked about you because there's not enough paper to sue everybody. So they're picking and choosing who they want to sue. Or some may say harass. You're entitled to your opinion. I don't really care what these people do. Knock yourself out. I got my own life to live. But until then, so long as you want to be up here cussing and fussing, I will gladly talk about it. Why not? Why not? Because the fans are going to keep asking me any damn way. Did you hear? Did you hear? Did you hear? So I can't even avoid it if I wanted to. So what? Not enough paper or ink. No. Yeah, Shelly, it's sad. But this is what comes from chaos. This is what I keep trying to tell you. Chaos breeds chaos. So this is why we're in this situation of listening to this nonsense. It's because in the end, a child went missing, naturally under horrible circumstances or horrendous circumstances. So this is the fallout of a child missing, possibly abused. So you can't expect something good to come from something bad. So you have all these people jumping on, latching on holding on to the story for dear life, like they're hanging off a fucking skyscraper. You know, they act like it's 9/11, jumping out of a building where an airplane crashed into it. That's how these people act. Holding on for dear life to something that, one, is not their concern or their business. So it happens. There's retribution, and that's what's happening now. Retribution. Because people get mad. Nobody wants you talking about them in a story. Come on. It's common sense. It's like you wouldn't want us talking about you in a video. You don't want us saying nothing bad about you. Well, you have to use deduction. It's no different than these people. No matter the crass stuff they've said on YouTube panels about the child, this and that, it's just the way it is. I'll say what I want to say, but I don't want you talking about me. We're all like that. That's everybody. Nobody wants nobody talking about them. But you have to also own that when you go out here and you put out malicious things or lies about a person, that shit's going to come back. It's just the way it is. It's just the way it is. All right, everybody, I'm out of here. Yeah, it is sick. Regina, you're going to be around a couple hours later. I'm going to rest for a minute, get a little dinner, and then I'm going to be back on with that content pertaining to the whales and this foolishness with Miss Bobby. And these people crying about these letters. We're going to chop it up. Whew, golly. That's why I said I can't even get the other stuff out I want to talk about. Just for trying to keep abreast on this nonsense. Because in the end, this is all BS. It's just BS. And it's ridiculous that you even have to upload content pertaining to this foolishness. Because indeed, there are way more important things to be discussing on the wire. Pertaining to missing children and true crime and different things. But a lot of these people, they're really not cut out for this business because they're honorary as hell. They're just honorary. And like I keep telling you, most of these people, they live like this. That's why it's so easy for them to get up here and spin this shit. They live just like this. I'm telling you, if you were to be a fly on the wall, you would see why they're on YouTube. You say, oh, hell yeah. I see why they're up here. Because they live like this. That's why it's so easy to spin the record. What I say, put the needle on the record. That's why it's easy. That's my content, everybody. Thank you for joining me. Have a wonderful week. Getting ready to finish putting up my shorts. Put up a few more posts. And then I'll be back later with live number 2. You don't ever think about changing channel to the queen. No, baby. I've already had one other name. I don't need to change it. I changed it to the vault because I wanted to talk about other things. And I didn't want people to think this was, the title I had before, Everyday Shenanigans, that was more lighthearted. But then I was talking about true crime so much, I didn't feel like, that username was appropriate for true crime. Well, I had to do some reassessment the past year to I'm not a true crime channel. I don't want to be known as a true crime channel. That's why I don't want to keep talking about true crime. I like talking about different things. So I thought the vault was more appropriate. In the vault are lots of things. Lies, secrets, happiness, shenanigans. You understand? So the vault I thought, well, the vault could be about anything. Because in the vault, you will find many things. Yeah. No. Yeah, I like the vault. The Vault XL. Extra large, baby. Extra large. That's what's going on. You'll find anything over here at the Vault XL. I could talk about whatever. I could talk about shopping at Walmart. I could talk about organization. I could talk about true crime. I can talk about why your husband left you for your sister. I could talk about your wayward children. You will find all that in a vault. A little bit of everything. Hey, check out my channel. I posted a video today. Oh my goodness. It came up in the queue. And this guy is at this house that they're cleaning out because the person hadn't paid their rent or whatever. Oh, wow. That house was horrible, the apartment. The guy left the apartment in such disarray. So please check out that video. It is so wicked to show you how people leave properties And check out the Carla Project. She's an African-American female I watch out of California. She's been helping her friend move into her house, a cottage, and she's been helping her decorate and stuff. And I must say this, if Carla, you're listening, your friend got too much stuff. I watched your live last night, and I think I'm going to comment under your video because somebody need to tell your friend she got too much shit. I'm sorry. Thank you, Shelly. Thank you for watching. She got too much stuff. I lie in bed watching these videos. That's why I try not to tune into this other YouTube stuff, because this other YouTube stuff is garbage. It's not even fulfilling. It's just too stupid. I like watching stuff about real people that's talking and doing stuff. That's why I watch HGTV, home decor. That's, to me, more fulfilling than this other garbage. Carla, please tell your friend she got too much stuff. That entryway is too much. Well, where's she going to put her furniture? There's nowhere to sit down. There's too much stuff. Damn. You asked in the live last night, you said, tell me if it's too much stuff. Well, Queen is telling you it's too much stuff. It's just too much stuff. There's no room for furniture. There's nothing where to sit. Where's she going to eat her food? It's too much stuff. No, I'm serious. Check out the video. I'm going to share it here in a minute. You'll see. It's too much stuff. The cottage is little. Wait till you see the bathroom. She don't even got enough room in the bathroom. They were in there. They went to what? Home Goods or Marshalls or wherever, trying to find a little stand to put in the bathroom. They bought 2 stands to put in the bathroom. Honey, there is no room in the restroom for nothing. What you should have done was bought a taller stand to put in that corner by the sink, because you don't have no width in the bathroom. So when you don't have width, you go up. Everybody knows this. That's why in New York, the buildings go up. They don't go out. You don't have any space to go out. So when you're in a small space, you go up. So you all should have found a stand that goes in height. A tall, narrow stand to put, makeup, whatever on. You'll see the video. Woo, Lord. After watching that last night and then watching this other damn video this lady had in her kitchen, I said, they make me not want nothing. I'm going to live like the little old man with the tray table, a TV, remote, and a pair of slippers. I swear. Oh, did you see it, Born? Need room for toilet paper. Yeah, that's all you need, room for your toilet paper. You just said that. Toilet paper roll. Or the girl had mentioned, she said, well, maybe I should put some shelves up. And I thought, yeah, that'd probably be better in the bathroom because she don't got no space in the bathroom. So the shelves would probably have been a better idea. But I'm the type, I don't like shelves on the wall. I don't like wall shelves. That to me is more like for kids, children rooms, dorm rooms. When you become grown, I don't think you should have shelves on the wall. I'm just different. I don't like shelves because they can look junky. You start putting too much stuff on them. Nah, it's okay. Plants. Oh, you see all the plants? She got a plant for every day of the week. We have 365 days. That girl got so many damn plants. She's got the kind of plants my grandmother had growing up, the kind with the long vines, and you have to start pinning them up on the wall with a nail because they're so long. And I was stunned to see a young woman with that many plants and plants that grow like that, because I haven't seen a young woman's apartment like that before. I have never seen a young woman with a lot of natural plants. So that was interesting. All right, everybody, I'm out of here. Thank you for joining me. See you all in a couple of hours. You have been listening to The Vault XL. Thank you all for joining me.